Good whenever. All right.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another watch along here from the Simply Reliable Studios crew. No James this evening. It is I, though, the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams, joined by the Wrestlefish, as we are here tonight for GCW's They Said It Couldn't Be Done in Kentucky. And if that isn't a mouthful of a show title, I don't know what is. But all that being said, we are here for some professional wrestling, damn it, as the simple man Noah Foster would say, for some independent wrestling. It looks like we lost Ryan momentarily. But they've got a stacked 7-match card for this evening.
Sorry about that.
No worries. We've got a stacked 7-match card for this evening, and very interested to see where some of these matches take us here tonight. I don't know about you, Ryan.
I have not really seen too much of the card. This one I'm going on basically is blind, so I do see the Tag Team Championships being defended tonight. That's the big thing that I'm looking forward to, as always. I love to see Bustah and Brain, YD&P wrestle. And, you know, for once, they're actually advertised as Bustah and the Brain on Trailer. So,
yeah, I noticed that too. I noticed that on the graphic. But for tomorrow, they're defending the titles in a 4-team tag match, and the graphic says YD&P. So it is what it is, as you like to say. To be fair, The graphic for tomorrow's show was out before the graphic for today's show. I don't know if they knew if Bustah and the Brain, Oliver and Price, would be free for tonight's show. So that was kind of a late addition to the card. But regardless, it is interesting to see them advertised as Bustah and the Brain. But let's start talking about some of these. This was a change in the card. It was originally supposed to be Too Tough Tony and Madman Pondo. Pondo is out. I don't know if it's injury or whatever, but Beastman is in his place. You know, the GCW Collective shows in Vegas have a clusterfuck show. This is what this is going to be. This is going to be a clusterfuck.
you know, there isn't a lot I can add to, such flavorful, commentary on that. But Beastman, I really enjoy Beastman when I see him wrestle. It's one of those characters that shouldn't work in the Big 26, but just does.
Yeah.
Between that and the Outbreak, for some reason, they work.
The Brothers of Instruction, for that matter.
Yeah, Brothers of Instruction have grown on me a little bit since I started watching a little bit more JCW, Juggalo Championship Wrestling, but it's what it is. I imagine that, we got to show off some Juggalo Championship wrestlers for the sake of their partnership. So, this is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's
Too Tough
exactly,
Tony's probably going to pull this out.
That's exactly what I was thinking about this too, Ryan, to be honest, is with Juggalo Championship being part of the collective in Vegas, I wonder if some of this is going to start moving towards that big show. Too Tough Tony, Beastman, very heavily featured on Juggalo Championship Wrestling. Beastman, part of Jasmine St. Clair's stable, along with Congo Kong and Mr. Happy and Mecha Wolf. Too Tough Tony, former JCW champion, multi-time JCW champion. Too Tough Tony is probably the Juggalo version of Nick Gage, if we want to just get right down to it. So...
Yeah, I can see it.
I definitely wonder if seeds across this entire weekend are going to start being planted for that big Juggalo show in Vegas.
Well, we are, about 5 weeks away
Give or take, yeah.
So you have to start laying, the seeds so they can start to flower later. Whenever we get to, match time, it is what it is. So I imagine that we're going to see some kind of JCW, GCW, conglomeration at the collective between the clusterfuck and everything else. It is what it is. Yeah.
Next up, we've got Shane Mercer and Anakin Murphy.
Oh no, the Star Wars references about to go hard. Um,
Will Shane Mercer have the high ground tonight?
well, he has about as much of a chance as a one-armed man against a tungsten raider. So this is what it is. This is what it is. I don't know. I'm not excited particularly for this. Like Anakin Murphy doesn't really do a lot for me. Shane Mercer is going to beat the shit out of him. To be fair, you can do a lot by getting the shit beat out of you. So that's where Anakin Murphy is going to be able to showcase and shine. How well can he take a beating from Shane Mercer?
Yeah, 100%. We've also got Flyin Ryan versus Billie Starkz. Should be a fun one. Flyin Ryan has been impressing as of late with his high-flying abilities. Billie Starkz, obviously former Jersey Championship Wrestling, the other JCW champion, Space Jesus, if you will.
I think this is the first time I personally have seen Billie wrestle since losing the Jersey J Cup. But Flyin Ryan O'Neal has impressed me a lot. He's been trained by Jordan Oliver and Alec Price. A lot of potential in this kid, a lot of upside. This is going to be a great opportunity for him because wrestling someone with Billie Starkz, who has over 500 matches under her belt in her young age, going to be pretty good, entertaining contest.
Definitely. I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead to the tag title match. We do have one more non-title match, but I feel like we should talk about it with the other ones. But we'll go ahead and talk about Bustah in the Brain here. Yaki and Bobby Flaco getting the opportunity to challenge for the titles. I feel bad for Yaki because he's been on a roll as of late, but Bustah and the Brain aren't going to lose the belts to these guys. There's no motive, there's no story, there's no angle here. There's no just reason. This is a filler match. It's an excuse to get Bustah and the Brain on the card. The match is going to slap. It's going to go hard. But this match, we kind of already know the outcome of.
It's these types of matches, though. I'm not going to, throw out too many arguments to suggest in any other capacity. 99% chance Bustah and the Brain retain the title.
Yeah.
But must-see TV, must-see thriller events, must-go buy ticket. You have to have angles for future shows to get people to buy tickets. So, I think that there is a chance, snowball's chance, mind you, we could see new champions. That said, I'm just curious about what Teriyuki's going to do. Bobby Flaco, been entertaining so far since I've been watching this. So it is what it is. I would have imagined that if White AMP were going to lose the titles, they would have lost them to Sinner and Saint a few weeks back. But with this new Ring of Honor television taping being once a month on Saturdays in Jacksonville, and their new little studio that they got going on until Daly's place is up and running, anyways. Not entirely sure how many more Saturdays YDMP have available. So it could happen really soon.
I think if it's going to happen, and this is just my take on it, I think if it's going to happen, it's going to happen at spring break. It's going to happen at a major event. You know, I've been kind of feeling the same way about the Hardys and House of Glory, to draw a parallel here.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
I know, but we've been looking for the right time for the Hardys to drop them. You know, I thought Turf Wars would be it, but then they announced Super Clash, and I'm like, no, Super Clash is the better opportunity for it to happen because that's going to be a big show. Then we found out House of Glory is running Mania Week as part of their whole contingent with CMLL and Tokyo Joshi Pro. And now I'm like, if the Hardys are going to do it, they're going to do it on that stage, because that's going to be the all eyes on me weekend.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of feel the same with Bustah and the Brain in a sense. Like, if they're going to drop the belts, they'll drop them at spring break, because we already know they're doing a bunch of the stuff there. And Tony may be a lot of things, but he's not going to run Ring of Honor tapings while everybody is in freaking Vegas for Mania Week, including a lot of his talent attending WrestleCon. So,
not necessarily Ring of Honor tapings. He could put on his own show during that weekend, though.
True.
No, not a taping, but an actual event.
But you would think he would have announced it by now.
That's fair.
Revolution, I would say, is the deadline. If he doesn't announce something by Revolution, which in essence is a month out from Mania, it ain't happening.
Yeah. That's fair. Either way, the GCW tag team division is one of the best independent tag divisions you can have. And YDMP are, in my opinion, the best tag team doing it today. Maybe save Bucks, save FTR. Number 3 in the world.
That's high praise. That's high praise coming from you. You know, they were our tag team of the year last year, so.
That's fair. That is very fair as well. And I called a good chunk of those matches. Either way, I'm excited to see the match. It's going to entertain. It's going to deliver maybe some outside interference from one of the other parties tomorrow. Maybe Ensign and Shimaz.
Fair.
You know, Lauderdale happens to surprise me sometimes with how unpredictable certain rules are carried. Cool. It is what it is.
Let's now get into the last 3 matches, because the entirety of Vandal 48 are in singles action. We get the singles debut on GCW of Christian Napier taking on Gavin Ash.
I feel like I've seen Gavin Ash wrestle before.
They look like they could be brothers, looking at that render of them.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him before. I just can't place it. And if I have, it'll come to me when we're seeing the emotion of everything. Christian Napier making his singles wrestling debut for GCW. That's a pretty big deal. He stepped up his game last week in the unaliving of Matt Fremont. There's a lot there. There's a lot that they're trying to tell us with Battle 48, and Christian Napier's on the up and up, you know, but they only have 2 singles titles, so got to figure out something for some jewelry, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't know what to think of Napier when he first debuted or re-debuted last year as the special guest referee. At first he just came across as that fly that you swat at and it just won't go away, you know.
Yeah.
But the more I watched him, the more I started to be compelled by him. And I think that's the key. He's just got something about him. And I like the video packages. I've praised Atticus's video packages for damn near a year now. The entirety of Vandal 48's packages are just top tier. The way they were having Napier talk for Otis for a while, I thought was just so good because Otis is the silent menace. I think works for his character. I don't mind Otis talking, but something about him just having that mouthpiece and being the silent enforcer, I think, makes him more dangerous. And as
I mean,
Ultraviolent champion, I think that's kind of what you want.
I mean this with all due respect to the Cogars, especially Otis Cogar. When I first heard him talk, it's not that he was bad on the mic and bad in the delivery. It's the voice did not match the body
Yes.
that it was coming out of. It was a culture shock at that point for me because I expected a deeper voice. I expected something a little bit, definitely angrier, but definitely deeper in tone. Uh, you might remember the meme of Brock Lesnar, screaming like a pterodactyl, effectively, whenever he gets really excited and he starts yelling. That's what Otis Cogar gives me in terms of vibe. So Napier, his cadence makes a lot more sense for his shape and his body. And if he can talk, he can be the violent mouthpiece to a more violent man in and of itself. So that is what it is. Napier, big things coming for him in the Big 26.
Speaking of Otis, Reed Bentley is challenging Otis for the Ultraviolent Championship. I feel like we've seen Reed a couple of times. I believe, and I could be wrong here, he's John Wayne Murdoch's tag team partner.
Might have to fact check that, but yeah, I wouldn't want to be anybody right now getting in the ring with Otis Cogar after what they did to Matt Tremont last week. Atticus aside, okay, you could, and I mean this with great respect to Atticus, and we'll get to that later. Otis is an extremely violent man, and what they did, they trapped Tremont. Tremont was not supposed to wrestle last week. I mean, he was supposed to, and then the injury happened. And if he did not compete, then he was going to lose that shot at that title until he next earned one. It was going to be a forfeit victory for Otis. Matt Tremont, walks out, and Napier locks everybody in the back. No one's able to make the save. Matt Tremont's injury, activates, is inflamed, and he goes down. And they tape him and effectively crucify him to the ring and beat him within an inch of his life with light tubes. Okay, that's the man that Reed Bentley is facing tonight. And I wouldn't want to get in the ring with Otis.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to either, especially after the mission statement that they issued last week. While you were talking, I did fact check it. He was Murdoch's tag partner, former GCW tag champions in the Rejects. They defeated Private Party of all teams and lost the belts to Ciclope and Miedo Extremo. And that was back in 2017. So not sure how active the Rejects are as a team these days. But again, it's interesting when people find their way back around after a while.
Yeah.
Last but not least, our world champion Atticus Cogar is defending the title against Larry D. I do not know anything about Larry D. I'm going to assume that, for lack of a better term, he is a local talent, someone from the Kentucky area, getting the opportunity to be a sacrificial lamb to Atticus to further the Vandal storyline. Shout out to Reed Cooper in the chat. He's a regular in the GCW World Podcast chat room as well. Good to see you, sir. Again, Atticus is going to retain here, much like we said about Bustah and the Brain. It's just not the opportunity and the time for Atticus to lose it. Atticus and co are building something major. We started talking about it before we hit the live button, kind of tabled it so we can get into it here. But there's something a brewing in Game Changer Wrestling that is gonna set them at levels above standard independent wrestling, especially when it comes to storylines in independent wrestling.
Yeah. So as I referenced earlier last week, Big Angle, and it started off a few weeks ago for the last show that you were present for. Now,
yes.
I don't particularly know for a fact if Matt Tremont had a genuine issue on that particular night. In this day and age where, your work, where you can just as easily be worked. There are people like Seth Rollins last year goes down with injury, and it's turned into an angle. Now, whether or not it was really a work the entire time or really anything else, regardless of what the state bot propaganda says, okay? A lot of people question injuries now.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope Matt Tremont's okay, by the way, in terms of his physical health. I hope he's not dealing with anything that he can't get through. Some rehab and some therapy, all that. But they worked this injury angle for a few weeks leading into last week's, again, crucifixion.
Yes.
They had him duct taped to the ring, his arms out like so. They were beating him over the head with light tubes. Big angle. The biggest angle so far I think I've seen in 8 months of watching GCW shows. And we are setting up probably the biggest chain of shows GCW has done all year, or will do all year. As we enter WrestleMania this season, as we get to the collective shows, we hit the clusterfuck in spring break. GCW doesn't put on mediocre or bad shows. Lately, anyways. It's a bad rap that they get. So, they have raised the bar when it comes to independent wrestling. GCW is independent wrestling. They get a little bit more credence to this, okay? Something, and I'm not to punch down on House of Glory, okay? But House of Glory, they will take an angle and they will shoot it, and you may never get follow-up on that angle ever again. They treat it as if they have week-to-week television. With GCW, while they don't have week-to-week television, per se, they do have a show, sometimes multiples, every weekend, save once a month. So, you get a lot more story out of GCW.
I concur.
All
I
right.
concur. Reed saying in the chat, the rejects are still pretty much a deal. I'm scared to see my namesake. I think Vandal 48 might murder him. And he says, I feel like Matt's back injury is real and the angle is injury related, a way to have him die and recover instead of just being out because of injured.
Oh,
That's a fair assessment. I feel like the thing at the coldest winter was legit. And granted, you know, saying the way Brett got involved doesn't necessarily make it legit, because promoters are going to be in on the angles more often than not. But the way that everything kind of transpired in front of my eyes makes me feel like that was legit. I feel like the question of it is the severity of the injury. You know, was it as bad as Matt played it off? Or was it a case of, you know, Val Kilmer and Tombstone, you know, I wasn't as sick as I made out, you know? And, you know, each week something, he pulled something, but it wasn't anything that some hot showers, a little couple massages, maybe a couple nights in the hot tub don't loosen up, you know? And then what we saw last week was exaggeration to lead the Vandals into a false sense of security. You know? And yes, they took advantage of it. To your point, they crucified Matt. But Matt is one of those guys that the entire locker room is going to rally behind. And if we're going to get a GCW versus Vandal 48 type of angle, he's the perfect guy to kind of lead that charge. You know what I mean?
yeah. A perfect martyr. Something that you can, a hero that you can back.
Exactly.
You know, it's very, very much, uh, he's the heart and soul right now of what the current GCW is. You know, before him, you would have Nick Gage, who has a whole tournament once a year dedicated to him. But we have the highlights from last week. This
Yes.
angle that they're shooting between Joey Janela and Brody Lee Jr. And I was saying last week, okay, Brody Lee is 14 years old. And, you know, he is just shy, a couple inches off of Joey Janela. He's going to grow. Brody was a big man. His progeny is going to be a big man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to your point, he's damn near looking Joey eye to eye, and you figure he's got at least a good 7 to 8 years still to grow. Because he's
Probably
only
10.
14 years old.
I mean, probably 10. Like you keep growing out until, like, your brain isn't fully developed until 2025. It's still pumping out hormones to the rest of the body. So I don't know about wrestling this early, though. I think I do agree with James a little bit on that. But, you know, it is what it is. Kid's got the bug. This is how he's going to feed his family one day. And looks like he already knows what he's going to do. He has a golden opportunity already laid out for him.
Yeah.
But this tombstone that he hits him with, right? You know, sometimes you ask for it and you have to deliver the message. He was asking to be taught a lesson. Joey Janela taught him a lesson with this pile driver. Don't bite off more than you can chew.
And Brody sold that shit like a champ for someone his age. You know, I mean, it's crazy to think that in literally a year's time, Joey Janela wrestled Sabu's last match and Brody Lee Jr.'s first singles match. Because we can't say first match, he was part of the clusterfuck last year. And last eliminated Joey to win. So there's definitely the callback here. But to have a man's final match and then to have a man's first match, like, that's crazy to think about.
You know, he's going to be...
Reed says, if it becomes Vandal 48 versus GCW, I wonder if there will be folks who become Vandal 48's side, even though they don't become part of the stable. That's an interesting thought. Go ahead. What were you going to say about the Joey Brody thing?
Well, he could be he's going to be having Joey's first match, but there's going to be a day where we're talking about who has Joey's last match. Could be a long. It's far too long to speculate on that, but it's just a fun little thought. Brain teaser here. All right.
Looks like we're going to have a multi-person scramble. Jeffrey Johns is in there, the Babushka Baron. Is that Gary J in the one corner with the black trunks and the beard, the tallest one? No. Jake Omen.
Jake Omen.
Jake Bravado.
Another Jake. Okay, how many Jakes are in this damn thing?
Jackie something.
Darren? I don't know.
And Junie Underwood.
I recognize two people in this entire match. Emil J, you know, in his ECW, you know, jumpsuit, you know, sweatpants and sweatshirt combo. And we are off to the races in the scramble match.
Gotta love when they give us matches that we are unprepared for.
You know, you have to give some Kentucky locals some love, I guess. You know?
Definitely. You know, but not this past show that I was at, but the one that I went to in December when I met up with Advocate. They did one of these matches like before they actually went live. Like, I think they should do that. Like, have a little pre-show match just for the crowd in attendance, help them get hot and everything. That way, when they go live at the top of the hour, it's the advertised card.
Yeah. These scramble matches don't necessarily have to be on every card.
No. It's a good way. Like I said, it's a good pre-show type of thing.
Especially considering they're usually starting the night. Because, yeah, it fits the narrative of a pre-show, full stop.
Okay, little note here from Reed. Jake Omen is a big deal in the area. He's the Squared Circle Expo champion. So good to know. Good to know. This is what I appreciate about some of the people from the GCW realm of things that pop into our streams, is they can give us some of this education that we may be missing out on. So thank you, Reed. Any other stuff that we may not know, feel free to throw it in there. We'll pull it up.
Underwood attempting to end this early.
Knife edge chop here.
It wouldn't be that bad, but they gave everybody a nameplate. Okay?
Yeah.
At least I can then see the name with hearing the name.
Yes.
But is what it is. Oh, nice float over.
Nice jumping knee strike there.
Right on the nose. Wonder what's gonna not smell right for a few days.
Deadlift German suplex. Excellently executed there, and a kip up to follow it up. It's a sick chest tattoo on Jake Omen there. Curious what the words are on his rib cage because he's got them on both sides.
You know, let's see. Jake Omen. Let's do some research. You maximize your time while we're sitting here not being able to be productive because I don't know anybody in this match.
Except for Jeffrey John, who just came in with a nice double cutter there, the Babushka Baron. Cannonball into the corner there. Death Valley
We got
driver.
two Jakes.
Hooks the leg, only a 2 count. Irish whip attempt, but Omen blocks it. Irish whips Jeffrey John in the corner with gusto, charges in. Nice elbow strike to Jeffrey John. Omen with another one. Nice speed for a guy his size.
Jeffrey John got down. The smashed potato, as James would call it.
Nice spinning backbreaker there by Omen.
I did like that backbreaker.
Omen is very much
into a
me.
Falcon Arrow.
2.5 for Omen there. Very technically proficient is Jake Omen here. I can see why he's the Squared Circle Expo champion.
We're going to the high risk district. Other Jake, I don't remember your name.
Bravado.
Jake Bravado. Okay.
Junie Underwood in with the jumping kick there. Sends Bravado into the ropes.
There's the unspoken. Well, I guess this answers that question. Underwood going for the Bagushka Baron.
Setting up for the gratuitous Tower of Doom spot here.
I only allow for one of these a quarter. And I haven't seen one this quarter yet, so we'll allow it. Yeah, we got everybody. The ring somehow survived. Jake Bravado rolling around in the corner. Poor Doyle, wherever he is in the ether.
Right. Forearm shivers back and forth between the Jakes.
Under their verses.
That's what I'm thinking too. It's too long to be quotes, so I'm thinking it's either Bible verses or song lyrics. Jeffrey John's nice springboard over the top, but he gets caught by Omen. Junie Underwood springs up to the middle rope, flies off with a flying cross body, taking out 4 of the men on the outside. Jackie coming up with the taker dive over the top. Nice rotation, takes out everybody else. And Jackie standing tall here doing the cutthroat taker style. Even Reed is trying to read the ribs for us. I appreciate that, Reed. Says I can't read Jake Owen's ribs.
I'll find out one day.
I'll see if I can find him on socials. I'm sure he's got promo photos where I can like zoom in on that area and see, what it says.
Well, for AJ Styles' rib tats, they're his kids' names
And birth dates.
and birth dates. Maybe
Shining
he has a lot of
there
kids.
by Omen.
I ain't seen a good shining wizard in a while. From a man of that size?
Yeah,
Bro.
seriously. Launches himself over the top rope. Omen slides in, goes after Junie Underwood. Junie with a knee to the midsection. Dragon suplex. Sends Omen into the ropes. Pop-up powerbomb by Junie Underwood. Gets 2.
1, 2, and a penalty kick breakup.
Junie with a nice float over pin there. Only gets a 2 count. Going for a backslide now. Gets a 2 count. Couple of chops from Junie to Jackie. Just realized everybody is a J in this match. Junie, Jackie, Jeffrey, Jake, and Jake.
The J.
Ooh.
Scramble.
Spinning pile driver there.
They could have did this
Jackie.
in Jersey. They could have had the Jersey J Scramble.
Jeffrey John steals it there. Feet on the ropes to boot, but effective nonetheless. The Babushka Baron with a big W here.
It's out of character for the Jeffrey John that I know.
It is, but if you notice the last couple shows, he's been getting booed big time. So for someone that's getting heel heat, it's right up his alley. Tomorrow should be interesting. I seen his post. He's actually from the Columbus area. So tomorrow he should be getting a pretty big pop. Unless he's naturally a heel in his home bases. So should be interesting to see tomorrow as we go to a little highlight package. Coldest Winter 4, Alley Catch versus Atticus for the title. He says he thinks Jake's tattoos is something from Revelations.
Well, that would be an omen for certain.
And he's literally zooming in on a promo pic, so he's doing what I was going to do. Thank you very much again, Reed. We appreciate that.
You never know when that information is going to come in handy. Alley Catch in her feud with Atticus Cogar, I don't think any of us ever pegged Catch to defeat Cogar leading into their feud. But Cogar is an act for making you believe or making you want something to happen.
Mm-hmm. I made this comparison with James last week. I don't remember if you were there for it or not. It may have been the show that you were absent for. But I compared Atticus to a modern-day Raven. And Vandal 48 is his flock. Just his psychology, his ability, his promos. There's just something about him that's enigmatic enough, like a Raven. And he's still only 28 years old. Like, he still has a good 15 years, barring any major injuries, to be a big deal in this business. And just the level that his psychology is on, is second to none to me. And then I made that analogy, and then he crucifies Tremont, a la the way Raven crucified the Sandman, which just made it even more interesting to me. You know what I
All
mean?
right, yeah, I remember Gavin Nash now. All right, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm a huge Ravens fan, right? So I can see the comparisons now blatantly now that you pointed some of them out. Um, it's going to be interesting to see what his career trajectory looks like. He's very talented in what he does, but someone with his level of talent, not not to say don't go to whatever company, but go to what company appreciates that level of creativity that you have in your own character.
I
You
honestly
know.
think TNA would probably be the best place for him right now, and I know you're one of those that's kind of on the lull TNA kick.
Oh, lately I am, but
But
in
I feel
fairness,
like but I feel
it
like
works.
TNA would give him the opportunity to really develop, you know.
TNA need all the help that they can get, and they need someone who is charismatic enough to make it work. Uh, TNA would be a big opportunity for the Cogars and subsequently Napier. Uh, the Vandal 48 flag being brandished by Christian Napier. Here. Need some audio. This crowd. They packed a lot of people in this little Kentucky bar or showroom,
I agree. They
Bourbon Hall.
they they know how to maximize the space that they use.
Emil J trying to figure out what he needs to do right now. Yash offering a handshake to Napier. Napier says no, locks him into a side headlock. Napier, we got some chain wrestling to start off this match. It's one of those things where I don't know enough of Gavin Nash to easily say that Napier can easily win this match. But, I have seen more of Ash wrestle than I've seen Napier wrestle.
That's fair. It took a while before we really started to see Otis wrestle once we got into things as well. We started watching April last year, and it was probably a couple of months worth of shows before we really started to see Otis do anything. Napier's done a couple of tag matches here and there with Otis, but this is the first time we're really getting the opportunity to see him shine as a singles. The Midwest Menace, as he is known.
Well, he is wrestling a very methodical, one could call it a dirty style, weaponizing, the ring. Ash, uh, high flyer.
Yeah, with his body type, you can definitely see that about him. Ash calling for something here.
Both young, going for what appeared to be a knee scrambler. But he was blocked by Napier.
Jumps right into a side suplex there, side belly to back from Napier. Hooks the leg, gets a 2 count.
Vandal 48 shirt looks pretty nice, actually.
Yes, that is one of the ones from the one night only show in Berwyn, Illinois. You can actually buy that on their website right now, their shop. They have limited supplies remaining, and once they are gone, they are gone. If I hadn't bought the Sid Pig one last week, I probably would have snatched that up too. I think before I get any more Atticus stuff, I need to get me a Napier shirt and an Otis shirt, though.
It's okay to have a favorite. To be fair, though, the only Death Rider merch that I have of any specific guy is Claudio.
The only AEW shirt I have, period, is a BCC shirt. You know, from the Death Rider's origin story.
Yeah. I'm actually wearing a MJF I'm Better Than You t-shirt, and I am not allowed to wear this in public. I always get weird side eyes. Like, as a wrestling shirt dogs, don't think about it.
Got you.
Ash hung in the ropes.
Maybe you're looking for a Canadian maple leaf, the single leg crab, as Ash is hung up in the ropes, as you pointed out.
You know, very methodical style that Napier is wrestling, and a backbreaker across the shoulder.
Atticus and Napier both have that methodical nature about them. Otis seems to just be get in there and smash it. Sister Abigail from Ash there. You know, Otis being the Ultraviolent champion is just, let me get in there and brutalize you. But Napier and Atticus both, to your point, have that more methodical, diabolical, dissect style to them.
Very scientific.
And I
Series
like
of chops.
Wheelbarrow into the flatliner, and Gavin Ash has him locked in a submission here.
Oh. He's going to... Napier could just poke his eye. Oh, choosing to bite the calf? You know, very scrappy is Christian Napier.
Mm-hmm.
But unlike Atticus,
Oof.
there's a lot of actual wrestling moves in Napier's arsenal that he's showcasing tonight.
Nice stunner there, Stun Dog Millionaire from Ash.
And that was not a slight at Atticus by any means. Fight smarter, not harder, right?
Well, Atticus is one of those guys who picks his style based on his opponent. I'm blanking now on who he fought last week on the Friday show or the Saturday show. But he demonstrated more of a technical style on that show, on the What's My Name show. He did more technical
shooting
high
star press from Ash, and they missed. And a shotgun drop kick into a back cracker. 1, 2, 3. Napier with a huge singles win. far as I'm aware, first singles win.
Well, yeah, this is singles match debut for GCW. So, yeah, big, big debut there for the Midwest Menace.
Well, he's about to go walk off and enjoy the fruits of his labor. We have a backstage segment between Alec Price, Jordan Oliver, and Yaki and
Bobby Flaco.
giving them their flowers. Trying to figure out what in the fuck Jordan is wearing.
He's gone corporate now, man. He's in a suit. Got to show up styling. He's getting that Tony Khan money. He's showing up in suits and shit now. Trying to be professional.
I don't know. It looks like he's at a funeral. I don't know. Business, brain, handling all of the, finances, I assume at this point. Giving Bustah all that he needs. Wide MP on that one as well. I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication on what they're named, and I don't think they give enough of a fuck to care or correct it.
Agreed.
Looks like Scarlett Donovan is going to be officiating this contest.
Yeah, Reed says that he's been dressing like this for a year. He even has a tie going on sometimes.
Tells you how much I'm actually paying attention to Jordan Oliver backstage.
To be fair, they don't always show backstage stuff. This is something they've really started doing here recently.
It helps pull together the atmosphere of a wrestling show.
It does.
Especially if you have a pseudo TV deal like Triller.
Teriyako. Look, Emil's even explaining it to Scarlett how he'd come up with it. She's just like, whatever.
Seriously, how long are these title belts? They are comically large. Bustah and Brain approaching the rings to that area. Newish looking gear? If it's not news, first time I've seen it.
Yeah, they've worn the burgundy and gold once before. I want to say they wore it for the J Cup, the Jersey J Cup. You know, again, ever since they started getting that Tony Khan money, I've noticed they actually have more than just the purple and orange gear.
Well, Oliver would turn it inside out and wear it. Like, it's almost like he had, like he has a black pair of tights. I don't know if it's the purple and orange gear. It's just he always has the purple orange knee pads with his black tights as well when he wrestles single. You know, dueling arm drags. We are in Kentucky. That is a Deliverance reference.
Teriyaki went for a tope suicida but got caught.
Backdrop on the apron.
Jordan just throwing Flaco into the guardrail there. No mercy from the GCW tag champs here.
Well, Alec Price is trying to treat Teriyaki like a jobber. Teriyaki's not having it. And a kick to the face from Teriyaki. They're on the stage right now, and a dive from Teriyaki off the stage onto YDMP. Teriyaki is someone who has showed up night in, night out, has impressed every time he's been in the ring. He's the next guy up in GCW. Don't know about Bobby Flaco, though. Fury's still out. Nice tandem offense. Flaco picking up Jordan. Attempting of an arm wringer. Jordan broke free. Knife edge chops. Big knife edge chop, chopping down Bobby Flaco. That hurt. He feels it.
Reed, we have our audio down too, so we don't get it picked up on the stream here. We don't want a chance getting copyright pinged. I don't know. Have you heard them, Ryan, say anything about Teriyaki and Bobby Flaco being stablemates?
Well, they are the Atlanta guys, evidently. Past that, no.
Okay. Nice double team from the champs. Triple leg drop.
Don't team enough to have as matching gear as they probably should. But they are wearing as matching gear as possible, which I'll respect. Jordan Oliver in firm control of Bobby Flaco. Russian leg sweep into, I don't know what this is called, but it looks like it hurts. Flaco fighting out of it. Got punched in the face for his trouble. Jordan Oliver has control of Flaco still. Flaco fighting from underneath, literally chopping at Jordan's chest and a jawbreaker. Flaco attempting to make the tag to Teriyaki. Reversal. Flaco 1, 2. They're trying. Flaco's just not making the most of his time away from Jordan to make the tag to Teriyaki. Series of elbows, strikes from Flaco. Attempting into a cutter. Was thrown off by Jordan Oliver into a tornado DDT. And Alec Price is legal. Teriyaki is now hot tagged in. Drop kick to YDMP. Attempted pancake of some variety, but countered by Teriyaki. They're now in the corner, and Sagiri into his Canadian Destroyer. Teriyaki to add a kick out by Alec Price. You need to hit more than your singles finish on Alec Price. Teriyaki. Not sure if knee strike or enziguri, but it was one of the two. Attempted to Spanish fly and was thrown off into a Rough Rider by Alec Price.
Brutal kick there by Price, knocking Flaco off the apron.
You can't swim, you go to drown.
Bound to
Teriyaki is capable of swimming. The speed that they collided at.
For real. That was nasty. Tags into Oliver and Flaco. Oliver lighting the chest of Flaco up. Nice boot from Flaco to Oliver. Now Flaco with some chops to Jordan. Irish whip sends Jordan into the corner. Super kick derails Flaco's forward momentum. Oliver jumps into a code breaker there from Flaco.
Looks like he got Jordan's nose.
Make sure he still has his teeth. Tags into Price. Here comes Teriyaki.
Trading blows between Alec Price and Teriyaki. Bring it on, says Teriyaki.
Nice enziguri there from Teriyaki to Price. Irish whip reversed. European uppercut from Price. Catches Teriyaki. Nice roaring elbow there from Teriyaki to Price. Tag to Jordan Oliver. Some double team action going on here from the champs.
Love their combination of work. Teriyaki now alone in the ring. Alley-oop.
Flaco saving his partner. Double super kicks from the challengers.
And double kicks from the champ. Everyone is down. Scarlett, this is where you need to count them down. Have I told you that officiating is my biggest pet peeve in wrestling?
I don't think we've gone in depth into it, but I agree with you. Consistency is key.
Like, in fairness, right? I'll give each referee their own set rules because at least if the referee is consistent in their rules, in their own rules, they are like two different referees can have two different sets of referees' discretion, if you will, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just be consistent if you're going to do something. Don't raise someone's hand up, drop it, and then ring the bell. You know, and then in another match, raise their hand up 3 times. Be consistent on that one.
Agreed.
Jordan Oliver, looking like he's ready to end it, missed a boot. The acid kick attempt from Jordan Oliver.
Alec Price slowly pulling himself back up to the ring apron, just in time for Teriyaki to give him a boot, dropping him back to the floor.
Teriyaki DDT onto the apron.
Moonsault from Teriyaki takes out Price. Jumping cutter from Flaco off the top rope takes out Oliver. And now it takes out Price on the outside. Teriyaki getting up and up. We going to get a
Going for a
doomsday
doomsday
device?
device? Possibly. Possibly.
2. Nope, there's Alec Price.
Not quite a doomsday device, though. It's kind of a crossbody.
Audible GC dub chants from the crowd here.
Justified GC dub chants from the crowd. Insert tweet here.
Oh, miscommunication there. Teriyaki just caught his partner.
Yaki in a 1-on-2 scenario right now is not good.
Jumping knee strike from Price. Boot from Oliver. Springboard elbow, or clothesline, excuse me, from Price. Double team suplex, hook of the leg. There's 1, there's 2, and there is 3. No acid bomb tonight. Interesting. They used a different move for their finish.
I wonder if they're testing something out for something prettier for television.
Probably. Ooh, what are we doing here? They look like they're stalking Flaco.
The GCW Tag Team Champions approaching Bobby Flaco. Picking him up.
Pulls Flaco up with force and raises his arm. I feel
Gotta
like this
put over
was
the
a
guys
proving
who are-
ground.
YDMP are big on showing respect to their opponents. Acknowledging the code of honor. Because I believe they're going to be on Ring of Honor, so they got to get used to it. Oh, we're going to have a plunder match up next?
Probably. I am going to take this opportunity while they show where GCW is coming to run our watch-along trailer. We will be right back after this.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And of course, we here at the Simply Reliable Studios support, promote, watch along, call the action for all the wrestling.
Were they going to Italy?
Yeah, France and Italy.
We got to put the title on Luigi Primo.
I agree.
That's the agenda.
I agree.
That's the agenda now.
At least let's get him on the card, damn it. Yeah, I saw that announcement earlier this week. GCW and BZW, now or never. I'm doing a joint show with BZW. Don't know much about them, but should be a fun show.
Find out in real time. In the words of Bill O'Reilly, fuck it, we'll do it live.
I'm still curious where they're going to go May 17th. That's TBA. They're running Michigan and Illinois that Friday and Saturday. I wonder if they'll be back in Indiana.
Possible. They could be in Ohio.
Yeah, but they're in Ohio tonight. I mean, it's not to say they can't go back to Ohio, but Ohio doesn't seem like it's one of those cities like New Jersey and California that they do, a lot of stuff.
Ohio's a big place. They're in Columbus, right? Like, take for instance, they're going to be in Columbus. They're actually in Kentucky tonight.
Yes.
But Columbus is very out of the way for me to go to, right? Versus the Cincinnati.
Fair enough. I did notice a new date on that. They've got a show on April 3rd at the FSW Arena in Vegas prior to their collective shows in Vegas.
Hair? I'm not sure. Higher? Ethan Higher? Is that how we pronounce it?
Oh.
That's what the shirt says. Or does it say even? I don't fucking know. I've never seen him wrestle before. I haven't seen him a day in my life. And, man, he's...
Ethan Higher.
Leave it to someone who's from Kentucky who can't fucking spell their own name. Respectfully.
Versus Shane Mercer. Okay, so Anakin Murphy had to back out apparently.
I hope Anakin isn't who Lauderdale was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I saw that post.
Because I like Anakin enough. Yeah. You give an hour's notice to prepare to fight Shane Mercer.
Yeah.
What do you do at that time? You praying to your gods? Wishing your loved ones,
It takes Thunder Rosa's boo-boo face to a whole other level. He just had boo-boo attitude. It's like, look, if I'm a job, I'm going to come in an hour. I'm just going to get my ass beat anyway.
The way Shane Mercer was just pointing at Ethan Higher is like, look at this mark.
Mm-hmm. Crowd chanting, "Higher Ethan."
Imagine if Effie still had hair, but was also 3 inches shorter than he stands.
And still built like Effie. Because I feel like Ethan is a little bit smaller than Effie.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Well,
We're already behind. Went for a springboard off the rope. Botched. Mercer caught him. Mercer was going to throw him over the top rope. Ethan was able to slide down his back and evade. Ethan going through Shane's legs. Shane catches his leg.
and
Bear hug was looking for an overhead
clap.
belly to belly, but Shane got out of it, or Ethan got out of it, excuse me. Ethan now with a little flurry of offense here. Backs Mercer into a corner. Step up kick rocks Mercer, sends Ethan over the top rope. Shane is still way too strong though. Jesus, just chucks Ethan all the way across the ring.
Release belly to belly suplex. I'm not even sure. You know, this is going to be a rough night for Ethan Hire. I have no idea what the fuck to call that.
I don't either. Only got a 2 out of it. Reed is saying that Anakin may still be injured. Quote, we're doing the same match I had planned with Anakin. Fair enough, Reed.
I enjoy this. We are about to chuck Ethan Hire into
Destroyer.
the crowd. Oh my!
Ethan to Mercer.
I don't think I've ever seen a gorilla press countered with a destroyer.
Holy shit.
Yeah. He's making a believer out of me.
A believer or a believer?
Believe. Pop
Jesus.
up, fall away, slam, and god damn, the impact in which he hit the ground.
Hook the leg. There's 2, and Ethan Hire kicks out.
Ethan Hire is tougher than a $2 Colin Delaney.
Ethan is literally getting the rub that Anakin would have had. That's a fair shout, Reed.
It's triangle. Shane Mercer, powerbomb counter. But it is still locked in. How many more of those can he hit? Enough? Well, he's out of it now, so it doesn't matter.
Going for that chuck into the crowd once more. This time he gets it, launches Ethan into the front row. Thankfully, the fans catch him.
Rule of thumb, if you're going to attend a GCW show, you may be asked to catch shit from the ring. Be it chairs,
there's
tables,
a guardrail
people.
there. Some of these venues they go to, there aren't guardrails.
I hope you signed a waiver for Lauderdale's sake.
That's true, Reed. That front row is far from the ring in comparison from some other places.
Yeah, that's a solid 6 feet. 7 feet.
Oh, Jesus. Mercer looking to chuck him into the guardrail, but Ethan able to hold on.
Blocked. Rana, I don't know. I think he just dropped him. He's fighting so hard to not die, Shane Mercer. Eye rake. Ethan Higher in the ring. Ethan Higher suggesting to the crowd that he's going to fly, and a suicide dive attempt. That is the most lackluster tope suicida.
Jesus, this time Mercer catches him and just slams him in the guardrail, and another slam on the ring apron. Big clothesline to the chest.
Mercer is an explosive human being. Caught somewhere between Test and Sheamus.
I can see that. I can see that comparison. Does Mercer have an MMA background at all?
He might.
Because I'd like to see him in Bloodsport if he hasn't done that before. I feel like he does, and he has. Shout out to the 100 of you guys that have tuned in to check us out, by the way. Greatly appreciated. Let's keep that number going up. Take the opportunity after this match to do some shills and promote things, since we have such a base watching us.
Mercer just had hit a big shot through the chest of Ethan Higher. Another knife edge chop. Picking up Ethan Higher from the mat. Going for potentially another chop. Defiant Ethan Higher. Elbow combo. Countered into a stunner of some variety. Up and over in a tornado, basically. Series of strikes from Ethan Higher. Attempting a tornado DDT, successful by Ethan Higher. 2 Mercer kicks out. I wonder how further deep can Ethan Higher dig?
It's a great question. I'm surprised he's not dead already.
Attempting sliced bread. Combination stunner. Jawbreaker.
Mercer catches him. Jesus, what a backbreaker.
We're already that vertically challenged. That'll cut an inch off your height.
We are watching a murder take place, Reed. That's what we're watching.
Oh! Suplex into the air. Let's go. And he just throws Ethan Higher even higher.
I feel like Ethan Higher's theme song should be Higher by Creed.
Missed opportunity. I have a feeling, though, James is on call. He'd somehow fit that into a song. Even Higher attempts another tornado DDT. High angle. This kid is a grown-ass man. He's just vertically challenged. impressing me. Yeah. Shane Mercer don't sell for this for just anybody. Shane Mercer caught higher in a powerbomb combo. Moonsault and battery. Coming. Oh. What? What?
That is it.
What in the fuck? Did I just watch the man do a moonsault from a tombstone position and still land this pile driver? What the hell? Mercer, why the fuck are you in GCW? Respectfully.
That's a fair question. That's fair. I do feel that Ethan Heyer got made in a big way here. Reed's calling him the new Marco Stunt.
I can see it.
Well,
he was made.
While we have a brief intermission here as they promote the GCW show coming to the ECW arena, let us take a moment to tell you where you guys can find us on socials. Subscribe to The Rage of Wrestling on YouTube, our good buddy Walter Cruz. Subscribe to and follow Noah Foster at nfoster1916 on YouTube and the X. Subscribe to and follow our good buddy James, who's usually in this seat for the independent wrestling shows. Had prior commitments tonight. You can find him at jhebertside95. Follow the Wrestlefish at the Wrestlefish on X. Tell them a little bit about what you do there, Ryan.
Well, other than, shameless plugging and shit posting, you can find me usually doing periodic spaces with various Wrestle Collective members, particularly James and Hannibal for our YouTube show, Wrestling with Tism, on Mondays, 5:30. And you can also find me and Hannibal on Wednesdays on 5:30 for our Dynamite preview show. It looks like we are about to get into the next contest.
Yes.
If we want to fill out the rest of the plugs here, and we can finish it later. Mill J. Again, he loves his ECW merch. Said this last week. Beastman don't job for jobbers. However, I feel like he's eating a pinfall tonight. Oh, where are you going? Oh, grabbing a door. Beastman's one of my favorite characters doing this today. Not gonna lie. Very simple. That guy, big bone club, more beast than man. Love it. It's the simple shit, JJ.
I agree. Reed says, asking why Shane is still on the Indies or some of the shows he works is a loaded question. It's nothing I'd bring up on, say, the GCW World Podcast, but let's just say Shane has a reputation.
That answers it. Full stop.
Yeah, that's kind of all you need to know sometimes.
You know what? At least he's still able to, to entertain. What if we see the bear trap tonight? Does he counter the meteorite disc with the bear trap? Too Tough Tony coming out.
With his Juggalo jersey on and his bottle of Bacardi. Not gonna lie, that's one of the things that I'm hoping for at the JCW show in Vegas. I'm hoping I can get a shot from Too Tough Tony. I am not a big drinker. I never drink vodka. But I would take a shot from Too Tough Tony, just to say that I did, you know what I mean?
It's
like smoking weed.
I'm glad that he acknowledged that kid was way too young.
Yeah. It's like smoking weed. I'm not a pothead. I've never smoked weed in my life. But if RVD offered me a joint, I would take a hit just to say that I smoked a joint with RVD. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things.
One of my favorite moments of the WWE Hall of Fame during the pandemic era is Rob Van Dam selling rolling papers at the Hall of Fame. Beautiful.
No, Reed, we're not front row. We have general admission tickets, unfortunately, for all the collective shows. But I'm hoping we can at least be on the aisle, because I saw Brett post that he's bringing bleachers. That way the general admission people don't have to stand. I'm hoping we can at least be on the aisle of the GA, maybe the first riser of the bleachers. That way we still can get seen. So. But yeah, me and my buddy Walter, who we just plugged, the Rage of Wrestling, we're going to be in Vegas. We've got GA tickets for all the Thursday through Saturday collective shows. We will be front row for Poder Mania on Wednesday. We will be second row for the Midnight Express, the Hybrid Pro Wrestling Unplugged show on Wednesday. And no, you can offer me a hit. I have smoked before. I usually do cigars and stuff. If your vape is marijuana, then yeah, maybe not offer me. But if it's just a normal vape, I can do a hit off of a vape.
The fuck Beastman. What are we about to do?
We are about to have a JCW style match. And I'm looking forward to it. A little precursor for what's to come in Vegas.
Letting the Vince Russo.
The Outbreak are on a couple of the shows this weekend. The Brothers of Funstruction are on a couple of shows this weekend. We've got Too Tough Tony here tonight. Beastman. Madman Pondo was supposed to be part of the show. I have a really big feeling we're starting to lay some foundation here for the Stranglemania show. Fair enough, Reed. So no, don't offer it to me, but you can offer it to my buddy Walter. He actually runs Cal Fire Farms here in California and grows his own product. Too Tough Tony grabbing the bottle of Bacardi, trying to get the crowd into it. Taking a double shot, probably, straight from the bottle.
He needs as much liquid courage as possible.
And Beastman, not sure if
going
that
to
was
grab
a Red
someone's
Bull
White
or
Claw.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if that was a Red Bull or a White Claw based off of the can color, but Beastman taking a drink of his own.
I have a feeling that some wrestlers just get into it to get, free booze from the crowd. But
Hey.
Tony, he don't believe in that. Tony brings his own. He's probably at least downed at least 2 of those today.
Nice hard shoulder tackle by Beastman. Knocks Tony down. Tony rolls to the outside. Tony calling for a chair there at ringside. Chair to the midsection. And then over the back of Beastman from Too Tough Tony.
Just 2 big men smacking meat. That's wrestling.
Beastman with the chair to the back of Tony now and a kick to the midsection from Too Tough Tony. Now some hard punches from the former JCW champion. Tony with a chair to the shoulder and then to the back of Beastman, now to the gut. Irish whip sends Beastman into the guardrails. See, I thought about going to the SHP show, and originally we were going to do that show, Reed. But then they announced some of the matches they announced for the Hybrid Pro show, and we were like, yeah, no, we need to do this show instead.
Oh. I just realized how behind I am in Juggalo Championship Wrestling. I need to watch last week's episode. Look.
I haven't been tuning in every single week. It's one of the shows that I watch when I remember that it's on or I'm home to watch it. Yesterday I was home for it, but I was just so dead tired after working 3 days in a row.
I watch things based off of their announced card. I like Juggalo Championship Wrestling, but it's an acquired taste.
100%.
And not every week is worth subjecting myself to it.
That's fair.
I'll watch with... See, I didn't initially like The Outbreak, but I've fallen in love with their characters.
Agreed.
So, either way.
I'm curious I'm curious to see what a meet and greet is like, because like how in character do they stay for like a photo op and everything? Because on the one hand, you want to talk to them, but if they stay in gimmick, they're not going to talk. Barnabas is going to talk for them.
Enjoy Barnabas as well. Like he makes it work. Honestly, I honestly would be disappointed if they did talk. Quite frankly, like, just be zombie, I guess, and drool over whatever I have you autographed. This is gonna hurt.
Looking for a power bomb, but Beastman sits down on him
with the Annihilator across. That probably didn't smell too well.
Probably not.
A lot of meat flying. Bruising the various battles that Beastman has on him. You can only imagine what's under the jersey of Too Tough Tony. Too Tough Tony lost the the Juggalo Championship Wrestling Championship to Matt Cardona, who vacated the title upon signing with WWE. Mr. Anderson would secure the championship from a vacancy. And now we have a new champion further beyond that.
Oh. Who's got it now?
Cocaine.
Nice. So,
like,
so unless the belt moves again, I'm going to see Cocaine probably defend the title live.
not entirely. I hope you get the opportunity. You know, I would love to see Cocaine's. I would love to see Cocaine have a custom championship title belt that's just a plate in which he does coke off of. Yeah, is what it is. And Bear, sorry, Beastman, sorry, with a black hole slam onto Too Tough Tony for a 2 count.
Pulling the tights off.
Wait a
Thankfully,
minute.
he has another pair underneath.
What's underneath the tights? Another pair of tights.
Cannonball to Too Tough Tony. This is the CPA gimmick, just below the equator instead of above the equator.
It is tax season.
That's another missed opportunity. Like, I pop the fact that CPA uses Man, I Feel Like a Woman, but I feel like he should come out to the Beatles' Tax Man.
Too Tough Tony seems to be anywhere else but here right now.
That's usual for Too Tough Tony. Beastman going
What is
up. He's on the
Beastman
middle
thinking?
rope.
Vader Bomb? Too Tough Tony back to his feet.
Gonna get underneath him. Tony gonna look for that power bomb this time. He's got him on his shoulder. Maybe a Death Valley driver. Not really sure what that was, but effective. Both men down. Tony can't capitalize.
Couldn't quite get under for the power bomb, so he had to improvise. Also, that did not break a board in that ring. I'd be shocked.
Reed wants to know, when did Cocaine win? During the taping, or did it air yesterday? Do you know?
I don't know if it aired yesterday because I hadn't seen anything out of it. I follow it, but Cage Match has it recognized that he's been champion for 7 days. So I have to go back and watch and determine.
So probably at the last taping then. Irish whip sends Beastman to the ropes. Clothesline from Tony drops Beastman. Another clothesline takes him back to the mat.
Oh, that is a lot of man to even attempt to lift. Beastman is the final evolution of Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Beastman just falling onto Tony there as he's hung up in the ropes.
Beastman, what are you doing? Please don't do this. Please don't do this.
Beastman goes
Tony.
off the top rope for
Oh.
a splash. Tony moves out of the way.
With each additional bump, the ring's structural integrity begins to fail further. Beastman is a lot of man.
Nice Samoan
Beastman.
drop there from Beastman.
Mm.
And then a big splash. And Tony kicks out at 2.
Now we're just at the impact spot of the match.
Shoulder tackle from Beastman takes down Too Tough Tony.
I think this is the longest match I've seen Beastman wrestle.
I agree. It's not the best match I've seen on a GCW show, but it's not the worst match either.
But for what it's worth, it's the two big men beating the shit out of each other. You've seen one match like this, you've seen them all, right? That said, I'm shocked that Beastman's cardio has held up.
Well, that's what they mean when they talk about you can be in shape, but you're not necessarily in ring shape. By no means is Beastman in shape, but because he performs on a consistent basis, because he does, wrestling probably multiple times a weekend, he's in ring shape, so he's able to go the distance in these matches despite not being a physical specimen.
Right.
If we're being honest,
Tony.
neither of these men are physical specimens, but they're in ring shape.
Yeah, I would not begin to lay Tony across that door. Beastman climbing to the top.
Tony just whacks Beastman with the door, preventing him from the devious intentions that he had. Tony now resetting the chair up with the referee's assistance there. Looks like we're going to go for an avalanche vertical suplex or a hurricane rana here. No vertical suplex.
Okay. In the superplex position. That is a lot of meat if this hits. Oh my God. That is a lot of meat hitting the ground. I have no idea how there isn't a hole. I have no idea how they didn't send each other through the ring.
Tony with the pinfall. Beastman kicks out at 1.
You're going to have to pull out the vodka again.
I think he's calling for it. Moonsault off the middle rope there. Hooks the leg. There's 1. There's 2. Beastman kicks out. And he's going into this pocket for it. He's going to get it here. He's grabbed the bottle, pointed on his fist. The meteorite connects. 1, 2, 3. That is it.
Too Tough Tony is what would happen if Rick Harrison became a wrestler.
All right, so there's a few comments here from Reed that I want to address. I was just waiting for the match to end. He says the man you feel like a woman thing is because CP gay isn't just a brunch only thing. CPA is very openly fluid, part of his entire self. Good to know. I've actually never seen a big gay brunch or anything like that before, so good to know there. And he says, by the way, Tremont is just fine. Like, fine. So, good to know that Tremont is like okay.
When you say fine, or are we talking like Effie is fine? I'm
no. I am going to run to the restroom real quick while we have this little interlude. I will be right back, Ryan.
All right. We have right now in the ring Beastman and Too Tough Tony. Not quite showing each other respect yet. The handshake has been offered. They beat the shit out of each other. They are shaking each other's hands. A not half-hearted, but, loose embrace. Beastman has exited the ring and is going up to the stage. Tuff Tony's celebrating. He is definitely tired. They beat the shit out of each other tonight. And, wrestling is more than just how many rotations you can fit in a Hurricane Rana. Or, sorry, a moonsault. Or a 450. Pick whatever lucha move you want. Wrestling, I like big men beating the shit out of each other. Is what it is. We have hit an intermission. The show will return in 10 minutes. It's the first one of these they've done in a minute. With that, I've been left with the ever so important task of entertaining the dead air. So, tonight's show has been actually pretty interesting and entertaining so far. We had YDMP defending their GCW Tag Team Championships against Bobby Flaco and Yaki, which that's been my match of the night so far. But Beastman and Tuff Tony really entertained me for what it was worth. We at Simply Reliable Studios, and we cover all of the wrestling. We try to. There should be a House of Glory show going on right now on one of the other channels with Walter and our friend Nick. And we have the dead air. Go shout out our boys. But if you want to remain here, remain here. But House of Glory has probably started by now.
Yeah,
unless
it was supposed to start at the top of the hour there. So unless they're pulling House of Glory things.
House of Glory things can be up to and including the show just not happening live.
Like what happened for the show I was at.
I'm mad. I was mad about that. I did not go back to watch that show out of protest. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I was going to ask if you ever went back. Like, I understood, not wanting to watch it in the moment out of protest, but I was curious if you ever went back to watch it.
No, this is so much wrong. Basically, if I don't watch something live, it's difficult to find the time to go back and watch something taped.
That's fair.
Between 2 podcasts a week. And the various watch-alongs, like how much time can I commit? I have other things I need to do. But with that, I was saying, tonight's been entertaining so far. We're halfway through the show, and this is the first intermission I've seen from GCW in quite some time.
Yeah, I agree.
So they must be setting up some plunder. It's a little early for the Ultraviolent Championship match. How much of this card have we gone through tonight?
Well, according to the announced matches, we only have 3 matches left. Flyin, Ryan, and Billie Starkz, and then the Ultraviolent match, and the Atticus match.
So, I am just going to say that we could see the Atticus match now, but I assume because of the interlude here, the intermission that we're in, there's going to be the Ultraviolent title because that requires some setup, right? Or we could just be doing an intermission. Give the people a bathroom break. Yeah,
I think the Ultraviolent match next makes sense because you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You give the people the intermission, the bathroom break, the go to the merch stand break, but at the same time you're setting up the plunder. Then you use Flyin, Ryan, and Billie Starkz for the cool down match before going into the world title.
Yeah. To the I don't know if this number's accurate, 100 plus uh, through who are watching us. We appreciate you.
Yes, and going back to the whole Tremont thing, I don't know if you addressed it while I was gone, but apparently Reed is watching him fight right now. Derek Neal tossed him into the ring post, and Tremont is busted open. Apparently he's on a TWE show and then watching GCW as well, so that he can only handle 2 shows at once.
That's fair.
So
That is
apparently
fair.
Tremont is on the TWE show. I'm not familiar with that promotion, but still glad that Reed is here checking out our coverage. Hopefully we're entertaining enough to you, Reed.
Well, for all that is worth, Matt Tremont, yeah, he's fun. He's wrestling. Yeah. So,
We had done some of the shills prior to the last match and keep things going. You can follow me on YouTube, subscribe to the Casa D18 Studios. On X, it's Casa D18 Studio, no S at the end on the X. Subscribe to the Jeff Meacham Network on YouTube. Subscribe to our Canadian friend, Ash, at Batty for Wrestling, heavy on the New Japan content. Did a bracketology with Noah a few days ago for the New Japan Cup, which I believe is happening right now. So check out her content. Subscribe to our resident Pink Ranger at Rangers of Wrestling on YouTube. Of course, you can follow us on X at SR Studios 2024. That is the home for the Simply Reliable Studios and where we make all our major announcements. We also stream watch-alongs there, and we've begun streaming the shenanigans on there as well. And then Ryan, tell them a little bit about the Wrestle Collective, which you represent.
well, we are currently streaming on X we're the simulcasting this onto the Simply Reliable Studios Twitter or X and the Wrestle Collective X as well, which is just some of the entertainment that we provide to everybody. I mentioned this earlier, Wrestling with Tism 5:30 every Monday on the Wrestle Collective YouTube and on X. You can find Light Diffuse on Zenix Soap Dishes X account, which you can find because I'm usually co-hosting anyway. Not the point. We have the Wrestle Collective podcast every Thursday, 6 p.m. We just did a follow-up episode to a fantasy draft that, the team had done. And by all accounts, it was pretty entertaining. We had our guest, Lucy, on, a good friend of the show. But yeah, this is some of the things that we do. Brain's kind of not wired right now. So while we're still got time, I'm going to go get me something to drink.
Sounds
So
good.
all right, I'll be right.
And then in addition to that stuff from the Wrestle Collective and whatnot, feel free to go back in the archives on the YouTube channels that I just shared. Check out our interviews from earlier this month. Or earlier last month, I should say, because it's March now. We had Rachel Lay, the Princess of Perfection, on February 7th. We had Brittany Blake, the Poder Mania champion, on February 21st. And then last week we had Heather Lynn, the Poder Mania ring announcer, on the show, longtime friend of myself and Jeff Meacham, going back to the NWA Championship Wrestling from Hollywood days when she used to valet for the then NWA World Heavyweight Champion, now Raw GM, Adam Pearce. We will be having Kaya McKenna, the Conduit of Karma, on the show tomorrow. And then in the future in coming weeks, we will have more of the women of Poder Mania coming on the show, including a couple of names that haven't been announced yet that will be announced tomorrow on the show. So you're going to want to make sure that you check that out. We have 2 more interviews to announce, one for March 14th, one for March 19th. So again, make sure you come to the Simply Reliable Studios at SR Studios 2024 on the X, or at Rage of Wrestling, N. Foster 1916, J. Hebert Side 95, and Casa D18 Studios, as we will be covering and presenting the interviews and the shenanigans on all of those channels. Sorry, I got a little distracted as they're hyping up the Sandman's final match against the Invisible Man for the Collective. Looking forward to that, seeing that live. Ryan will be back momentarily here.
Oh, we're back right now.
There he is.
No, when they told me that the Sandman would be wrestling his last match ever, right, I got my hopes up for any number of possibilities. And then they announced the Invisible Man. I'm hoping they're ribbing me. I'm hoping they're ribbing us. And it's going to be against someone. An actual living, breathing, with your flesh, and blood, anything. But, I'm sure they'll be entertaining, to say the least.
What I could see them doing is having the match, having the Sandman just squash the Invisible Man. And then saying, I'm not going to have my last match be that quick. Get somebody out there. And then having him with a legitimate match. I could see something like that happening because I think they want it to be a big surprise who he's really going to be fighting. I could see it being against someone like an RVD. RVD is a Vegas local now. So it wouldn't take too much for him to get to the arena. I could see it being against a Too Tough Tony. The Sandman who comes to the ring drinking beer, and Tony who comes to the ring giving shots and taking shots. But we'll have to see, as it looks like we're going to be seeing Flyin Ryan and Billie Starkz up next.
I wonder if they had to repair something in the ring.
Maybe. Maybe they did, in fact, break something, and they had to make sure that, the wood was okay after that superplex.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of meat being thrown around in that ring. But Billie Starkz approaching the ring, Space Jesus, former JCW champion. The Jersey variety.
Jersey. I was going to say, that's the Jersey Championship Wrestling. There's 2 JCWs, so we got to make sure we're specifying here. 1/6 of our Match of the Year winners for 2025.
Kentucky's own Billie Starkz.
Billie's gear is such that if the lights happened to go out, you could still see her wrestle.
Oh, yeah. Designed to glow in the dark. Ryan O'Neal, trained by Jordan Oliver and Alec Price, and I'm sure a small handful of other people. Watched him get a breakout moment with Joey Janela in the fall of last year. Was really impressed by that match. Kid's good. Billie's good. This is going to be a fun contest. Their feathers. Those are feathers on, or tassels. They look like feathers to me. They're feathers as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they're probably tassels designed to look like feathers, to your point.
But
Collar elbow tie-up backs Billie into the corner, flying around with a nice break. Billie getting a little pissed here in the early going.
there's definitely a chip on Billie's shoulder after dropping the Jersey Championship title to Charles Mason.
Yeah, Billie didn't even get to defend it at a GCW show, whereas Charles Mason has already defended it at a GCW show. Irish whip sends Flyin right into the corner. Up and over goes Ryan O'Neal. Off the ropes into a nice arm drag there is O'Neal to Billie. Nice hip toss now. Drop kick sends Billie back to the mat, rolling to the outside. Billie definitely caught off guard in the early goings here. Big boot from Starkz rocks O'Neal, sends him to the outside on the entranceway side. Starkz off the ropes. Tope Suicida takes out O'Neal on the floor. Starkz back in the ring, and she's trying to get the crowd into this. Off the ropes again, another Tope Suicida takes O'Neal down. Throws O'Neal into the ring post. He bounces off and into the guardrail.
Yeah, she threw him into the post with some authority.
Tornado DDT there from Starkz. Hooks the leg, sits on his chest, only gets a 2 count.
A very confident Billie Starkz. A very pissed off Billie Starkz, for that matter.
I was going to say, I don't know about confident, but I definitely think that she's a little unhinged here, to your point, after losing the title to Mason. Everyone's been asking it and saying that Effie is fine. I'm wondering if Billie is fine.
Jury's out on that one. Yeah, I hate that camera angle. Very bright.
Yeah, those lights overhead, over the Tron, if you will, are really bright. So when they come out, it's almost blinding. It's chopping the crap out of O'Neal's chest. Now the rapid chops from Billie.
Flyin Ryan O'Neal has been struggling to get out of the gate here. A vertical suplex by Billie Starkz. Billie frustrated that she hasn't been able to put away Ryan O'Neal, who is still in the rookie stages of his career. Dragging Ryan to his feet, or not even, just now dragging him, whipping around the ring by his hair. Billie Starkz is, as we said, unhinged. Billie talking trash to O'Neal. Kick to the center of the back. Limb control. Kicks to the side of the head from Billie. What kind of offense is she about to perform? The roundhouse kick. Straight.
Lackadaisical cover only gets a 2 count. Apologies for dipping out there for a second. I was sharing the stream again, trying to boost our numbers. Actually got a like and a retweet from Teriyaki and Bobby Flaco.
Oh yeah.
So shout out to
They
them
they
for noticing our posts.
oh they are Teriyaki especially is one of the talents to keeps their notifications and definitely doesn't block people like KJ Orso.
Bitter much, Ryan?
Oh yeah, like man, I'm just putting you over, KJ. I didn't call you a
Nice,
piece of shit.
nice
I wasn't
dinner.
glazing Emil J. You know, I just said he got beat in the Jersey J Cup. So, moral of the story, kids. If it could be interpreted in a negative capacity at all, don't at people. Lesson learned. Uh,
Billie going up to the top rope here. Space Jesus looking to go to the stars, if you will.
and Flyin Ryan, O'Neal, caught her at the pass in
If
attempting his
if
own
Billie
superplex.
if Billie ever gets out of Ring of Honor and becomes more featured on the main AEW roster, I still want her to team with Statlander, the Cosmic Killer and Space Jesus.
Superplex into and Billie countered the Falcon Arrow into a neck breaker.
Across her kneecap, looks like it did some
Almost an
damage to
Uji
her own
Goroshi.
wheel. Billie looks like she's in pain there. Look at this again. Bam, right onto her kneecap. Did her no favors.
That compressed her kneecap, her ankle. There's a lot that could have went wrong with that neck breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan O'Neal looking for a big win because a win over Billie Starkz would be the biggest win of Ryan O'Neal's career to date.
Both of them just training forearm shafts, and now Ryan with a nice little flurry of forearm shivers to Billie. Off the rope, right into a jumping boot from Billie. Jumping knee from Ryan returns the favor. Billie grabs the tights, pulls him back, kicks him, nice enziguri from Ryan, drops Billie, and both people are
That's what I
down on
don't
the
like
mat.
about tights that have shit that you can grab. This is something that both of them in the ring can learn. Those tassels presented an advantage to your opponent. And there's a lot more of them for Billie to grab than for O'Neal to grab. Attempting to suplex Billie back into the ring
Nice float over
and
into the
succeeds.
pin, gets a 2.5 count, does O'Neal.
What's the Shining Wizard? How shiny is his wizard?
Well, it's not the shiniest wizard, that's for sure. Flying
O'Neal
right to
to
the
the
top.
top. What could he be doing?
Oh,
Billie just kicked the referee into the ropes, which dropped O'Neal across the turnbuckle.
Ryan up, step up, kick, drops Billie back to the mat. Ryan going back to the top rope now. Billie up, throws him halfway across the ring. Billie now going up to the top. But Ryan
Billie
up,
looking for here.
springs up there, has her hooked. Face buster from Billie as she gets up to the top. Ryan springs up to the top again. Hurricane Rana takes Billie over off the top.
He was looking for that Hurricane Rana for a while.
Now
O'Neal to the
Flyin
top.
Ryan. Swanton bomb into the knees. Billie rolls him over. Only a 2 count.
Big elbow to the face. Big Billie Starkz.
Billie with the win.
Quite a one-winged angel, but it might as well have been. I'm not sure if she has a name for that. But big win for Billie Starkz. Ryan O'Neal rolling around on the floor, writhing in pain. Hometown crowd loves Billie.
Of course. Despite some of her heelish tactics.
It's Kentucky. They'll bet on their horse. Offering a handshake. Yeah. Yeah, shake your hand after you have to cheat to win. Crazy. Crazy work, Billie Starkz. I love it, though. We have a follow-up or a recap of the Otis Cogar and Matt Tremont last week. For what it is, this was well done and well shot.
100%.
Especially right here. Napier runs in the padlock. That said, I don't know. Thinking about this a week after the fact, there's no fucking way in hell that Bear Bronson would have kicked his way through that door. So, faith, I guess, held the door closed by Vandal 48. Brutal, though. James is crashing out in all. Lauderdale somewhere on the stage, I think, at this point. I think that's him in the shorts. And this really is about GCW versus Vandal 48 and management. Management's crusade against Vandal 48 really makes you wonder who Lauderdale's going to have to bring in.
Yeah, I agree.
Does Nick Gage have one more left in him?
Well, he's going to be at the 2300.
If I'm the Cogers, this might be the Ohio in me. If I'm the Cogers, that's my next target. Not sure if that says Gritter or Critter. Either way, I don't know why you would have that tattooed across your chest. Scarlet Dogman returning to the ring.
Apparently, Nick Gage just did something in CZW and only lost when Angel Metro paired with Lucky 13, so he has plenty left in him.
Well, that must be an old promotion, an old shot, because that ugly ass tattoo got covered up with another, not quite as ugly tattoo. You can't see it. The light. What is this? If you have to get bad tattoos, at least make sure that your bad tattoo can be tattooed over with a better tattoo. You know? Physically, Cogar's up for a challenge tonight. Intellectually, can't say the same.
Yeah. But again, looks like he's a hometown guy. Looks like he's got the fans on his side. And Atticus loves embarrassing people in front of their family and friends. So that's just
well, as he did last week. He literally took Megan Bain's mother as a hostage to force her to submit.
That was such genius stuff, though.
Oh yeah, it's a great way to retain the championship. Not necessarily how I would want the champion to hold the championship, right? But it is what it is. Trust me. I get what's going on, right? But the kayfabe in me, man, despicable human being, and I loved it.
Hell yeah. It's big dick heel shit. And I'm here for it because you don't get those type of heels really anymore.
Oh. Our last two contests for the night. The
Both
GCW championship.
Both Cogars. Shout out
Would not be shocked. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, shout out to the almost 140 of you guys watching now. Thank you very much for your support. Go ahead, Ryan.
I said I wouldn't be too shocked to see Napier interfere in this contest. For the sake of, Plan B, basically, or Plan C for Atticus Cogar. You know, Larry D does not look like he's very bright, but a very Hugh Morris type of wrestler.
That's a fair shout. Haven't seen him hoop yet, but just based on his physical appearance, I definitely agree with the Hugh Morris comparison.
Hugh Morris could play ball though, so maybe it might be a little too high of praise. Let's see it. Let's see it go. He wrestles in suspenders. What's not to like?
It's different. It's unique. And to your point about Napier, you know, the thing I love about Atticus is he's a top tier heel, but very rarely does he need interference in his matches. Interference tends to come more in Otis's matches, just because the ultraviolent rules dictate that anything goes. So why not?
That's fair. But I've seen both Cogars interfere and both Otis and Napier interfere in Atticus matches so far.
I'm not saying that
and at least one title defense so far at the Superpower Slam against Bear Bronson.
But check the caliber of opponent he was wrestling. He was wrestling Bear Bronson.
Oh, yeah. Collar elbow tie up. We're tied into the ropes into the corner of the ring. Cogar backs away. Losing the power game. Larry D, you just a fat fuck? We just playing mind games with Atticus at this point. Maybe he is smarter than we give him credit for. Another collar elbow tie up. Larry D forcing Cogar into the corner. Cogar slides around. Well, I can assure you, JJ, that Atticus's cardio is better than Larry D's.
Oh, 100%.
Big, just ran into Atticus. Kind of a standing splash. Atticus spitting on Larry D from the outside of the ring. Talking shit to the crowd. This Kentucky crowd, not a fan of the Ohioan Buckeye antics of Atticus Cogar.
The GCW crowd's not a fan of Ohio, period, unless they're in Ohio. Let's be fair.
That's huge.
Wait,
Louisville's not that far.
Ohio.
I know we're filling out time, guys, but can we go a little faster here? I wonder if Larry knows the guy in the NASA shirt.
Atticus gets
And
crotched
an
on the
atomic drop
guardrails.
on the guardrail. Ah. Right in the Cogars. Looked off. You know, that was interesting. Atticus certainly knows how to use his body as a weapon.
Gets a 2 count, does Cogar there.
Choking Larry D with a suspender strap.
Reed with a valid point. Says he's trying to get a good look at Atticus's shirt because the gear always has a story point. He thinks it's an IWA Mid-South shirt. He says, no, it's a new Cogar design that looks like the IWA Mid-South logo. Well, gonna go for the skewers. Nope. Pulled an Okada.
Bitch. Well, Larry D is trying to take control of Atticus. Atticus is having none of it. And we're at the point in the night where Atticus's superior cardio has caught up to Larry D. Larry is winded. We are much closer to Otis than we are Hugh Morris.
Otis WWE Otis, not Otis Cogar, for clarification, y'all.
Big man, either way. I'm not entirely sure about Otis Cogar's cardio, but man, Otis Cogar's adrenaline is deep.
Yeah.
Larry D finding some will to fight with a series of forearm shivers just to get elbowed in or shoulder blocked in the calf.
Skewers to the cheek, it looks like, from the inside of the mouth.
Just why limit his ability to eat spicy food for the next week?
Thankfully, the skewers came out before Atticus could stomp him. Would have been a gnarly visual.
Oh. Maybe just like skewers.
Larry D has him goozled. Pop up into a sleeper, though, goes Atticus.
Larry D realize where he's at in the ring and throw himself backwards into the turnbuckle. No. Larry D is fading. He is going to sleep. As I said, that's one. That's two. Larry D fighting for survival. Atticus being thrown from Larry D. Larry with a big discus lariat.
Larry with a lariat.
If Atticus can recover, I'd be thinking, what is the fastest way to brain hemorrhage? Because Larry looks spent. Also, Larry don't have a lot of brains, so I'm not entirely certain if the brain hemorrhage is going to be enough. You have to have brains for that to be effective, right?
Yeah.
Uppercut. Big splash. 1, 2. Larry D fighting for his shot at the GCW championship against the GCW champion. Atticus Cogar hits the brain hemorrhage, and he kicked out. I don't know how he kicked out. Well, I guess I just explained it. There's not enough brains in there for that to really matter. You're going to have to hit him with a couple extra, I guess, Atticus. Or dig deeper. Reaching deep into the pockets once more. Pull out another band of skewers. Atticus Cogar looking to
Larry D
jab these into the skull.
Trips the legs, huge elbow drop, hook of the leg, gets 2, Cogar kicks out.
Larry can move when he wants to.
Big power bomb on Cogar. High stack, gets a 2 count. Cogar kicks out.
Falling power bomb. Almost Kane style. The announcer said a test style power bomb, but I can't remember too many power bombs Test did.
He had a nice little gut wrench into falling power bomb.
It's been such a long time since I watched a test match. What could have been, Matt? What could have been?
Yep.
Larry D looking for a big superplex. Atticus stabbing skewers into the big thigh.
They won't even stick in his
Larry
body.
D. This gelatinous mass that is Larry D.
Like you can see some blood trickling out of his thigh from where it penetrated, but not enough to stick. Brain hemorrhage off the middle rope. Hooks the leg.
That's it.
2, there's 3.
That was surprisingly difficult for Atticus Cogar.
Well, Atticus did everything he can to make Larry look good. And a viable contender to the title when I think this is the first time at least we've ever seen Larry D on a GCW show. So it's like...
Well, it's the first time they've been to Kentucky since we've been calling. Or at least since I've been calling.
Yeah, so it's like, what warrants a title match for him? Apparently, blood means that the match must end in Kentucky, so they ended it. That's going to make for an interesting Ultraviolent championship match. If Kentucky doesn't allow blood, blood means the match must end.
Yeah, interesting that GCW, you can have whatever match you want in whatever state. But you gotta, sometimes you gotta make the commission, the athletic commission's rules work for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Reed says, unless you pay the fines in advance, then you can get away with it. And depending how much the fines are, and if it's like a per match fine, maybe they saved the blood for the Ultraviolent match.
I have a feeling that Lauderdale has a budget set aside for paying those fines. This show wasn't bad. But that shot, that angle that they shot with Matt Tremont and the Cogars, I sent you a grayed out picture of the event.
Yes. And you said that you had thoughts.
You know, I think Tremont eventually gets his title back, right? Long term of this story. Either that, or he's good to go and he's still wrestling because we're moving. He's not retiring, right? But there's a bigger story to be told, and the story of him winning his championship back just to get betrayed by Bear Bronson for continuity's sake because Bear's a heel in TNA, right? I could see that happen. It's my big prediction because Bear Bronson has kind of stepped up his game a lot, and the fact that he isn't GCW champion or Ultraviolent champion for the work rate that he provides, shocking.
That's fair. It's a good analysis there.
Two tongues. Or split tongue. You have to be a sick and twisted person to go through that surgery.
Getting the graphic screen multiple times. They're probably still setting stuff up.
There's plunder. There's doors.
Oh yeah,
There's barbed wire.
Doors. Looks like some tables on the outside. Or no,
The
that's
can.
just the guardrail.
The can door. We paid the fines in advance. That's what we fucking did. Is that a fucking dog collar?
Looks like it. A dog collar with barbed wire.
It's either that or a tambourine. It could be a tambourine. I could see that. That'd be some Kentucky shit right there.
Kentucky Fried.
Reed Bentley. What's my fucking name? It says Reed Bentley. And a heel turn t-shirt. Well, curious no twos.
Under
But
the reign,
they
I'm
can,
sure.
They could always include them. I guess the real question is how much of the fine can they get away with?
Yeah, this match right here is probably why the show is called They Said It Couldn't Be Done in Kentucky. Why the logo for the show looks like blood splatter.
Yeah. Well, at least Emil J is wearing his red pants. I guess he gets, thrown into something.
I love how hype Otis gets.
Seeing anyone but Matt Tremont with that Ultraviolent championship is still very weird for me.
See, I predicted this, though, because going back to Tournament of Survival last year, when Tremont and Otis met in the finals, I told James that it was probably going to be Otis to dethrone him. Little did I know the bigger story they were going to set up with the Vandals, but I saw Otis dethroning Tremont, so I was prepared. One fall. Emil just made it official. It is a fucking death match. Fighting out of the old Kmart building off of 60 Highway. I love that. Former IWA Mid-South champion.
That belt has been through some shit, man.
Mm-hmm. There go the fuck Ohio chants. Scarlett Donovan out there now for some reason. And here comes the other referee as well.
I think they're just
Both men
potentially
setting up the
waiting for
doors
the
in
referee in the ring to potentially die. Yeah. The doors have been set up. The barbed wire doors have been set up in the corners. Bell is rung.
Otis taking a drink of water. Reed Bentley offering a handshake. Otis saying, "Get out of
Handshake and
here
a
with
death
that
match.
shit." Collar elbow tie up to start. Backing right into one of those barbed wire doors. Able to back away from it. Now getting Otis dangerously close to the barbed wire door. Backing off of it. Break.
Well, Otis has physically met his match right now. Because, Reed is bigger than him. I wonder how much he gives up in power. Can't be that much, but enough to do the job.
And there we go. Door number 1 has been broken.
And a defiant wail from Otis Cogar as he drove Bentley into the door. He is picking up the razor blade. Oh, you sick fuck. Oh, I thought he was going to put him into him. Rubbing the razor blades into the arms of Reed Bentley. The blood is flowing.
Just ripping them out of his skin. Now Otis going to put one in the bald dome of Reed Bentley here. Trying to bend it so it'll form fit a little bit better.
Otis Cogar really hates bald people.
Otis is bald.
Hey, self-loathing, man. Self-loathing. Yeah.
Both these
You
men
don't
could
just
find
become Ultraviolent championship. The Ultraviolent champion if you love yourself.
both these men could find a home in bald elite wrestling.
Yeah. I just want to clarify and preface this, I guess. This is a fucking death match.
Yes.
And
Using part of that broken door and the open wounds and now shoving the jagged edge into his mouth. Sorry for cutting you off there, Ryan. Continue.
but the most cockamamie aspect of this match is the fact that that steel chair is a plastic chair.
That's fair. I will give you that. Otis
Razor
with his
blades.
razor blade. His brother has the skewers. His weapon of choice is that straight edge blade.
Oh, that is brutal. That is brutal to watch. Ah. I hope whatever James is doing right now is at least entertaining and safe. Oh my God! Don't do this. This
Right
hurts.
to the fingers.
Oh. Mm.
And then just
Oh.
licking the blood like the
Through
sick
the web.
fuck that he is.
Running the blade through the web of the fingers.
Spear from Bentley to Otis finally gets Otis into the barbed wire door.
The adrenaline has finally kicked in for Reed
The
Bentley.
adrenaline in his soul.
Oh, it was a tennis racket. Oh, fuck, my God. Where's the Jim Cornette picture? No, I can't find it. By God. Somehow it's still not as brutal as what he's gone through.
Well, I mean, because Otis is bleeding like a fraction in comparison.
Well, we're going to have to take a good, clean shot across the dome.
Bentley now stabbing Otis with the broken barbed wire, trying to get some blood out of him.
Grabbing, tearing the flesh with the barbed wire. You know, sometimes you just see some things and you go like, huh, he really just did that. I didn't expect him to do a tope, but it's an interesting position. This is a fucking death match, as Neil J has said. And the shirt has been bloodied.
Well, yeah, that's the beautiful thing about a white shirt like that is the blood shows up so good. Black shirts, not so much. White shirts, yes. And let's not forget, we still have that can door. Sponsored by Sprite.
Using the steps as a weapon. Is Reed Bentley. Reed dragging Otis. You know, honestly, Otis is having a harder time with Reed Bentley than Cogar had with. Man, I've already forgotten who Cogar wrestled. Larry D. Yeah.
Well, in fairness, Bentley is a former IWA Mid-South World Heavyweight Champion. So, now granted, we don't know Larry D's accolades, but, you know, I also didn't hear them really name any, so.
Yeah. There was definitely a lot of nothing being said there. I think there was a small pool of blood underneath Yeah, there was a small pool of blood under at Otis. I don't know if it's his blood, though, because he's barely blood in it. Here, fighting in the crowd. Reed Bentley just taking it and throwing Otis Cogar into a pile of chairs. Just making a weapon out of a can, a jagged aluminum can across the head and face of Otis Cogar. Nice call out to Dick the Bruiser by the commentary team. Now we set up to trade shots in a seated position in the crowd. Matt Tremont might as well be here tonight because we're doing one of his spots. And Otis seems to have lost this engagement. But Reed Bentley needs to get Otis back to the ring. Cannot win the match outside. Just because it is a death match does not mean its falls count anywhere. Otis throwing chairs one by one at Reed Bentley. Almost comically so.
And here comes the shopping cart full of goodies. Just rams the shopping cart into Otis.
This is brutal.
Apparently Larry
Still
D
not
was
sure.
Apparently Larry D was a former 3-time IWA Mid-South World Champion, which helps the design of Atticus's shirt kind of fit in the fact that it was inspired by the IWA logo. Just saw Teriyaki and Bobby Flaco there at the merch stand.
This is about to be nasty.
Literally, it's a bag of trash. Trash can across the back. I thought he was actually going to hit him with the trash.
I thought so too.
Thought that's nice. Why he was tying it up. Now he's asking the bartender for something. Put it on my tab. Looks like a Michelob Ultra.
We're going to waterboard. We're waterboarding Otis Cogar. With a Otis is out of his element tonight.
A little bit. Now pouring the beer down Reed's throat, taking a swig himself.
If I were them, I'd watch how much beer they're slinging around those cameras. Oh, Otis has the trash. There'll be plenty of liquids in that trash bag.
Question is, what kind of liquids?
Bodily, beer, water. Various amphetamines. This is Kentucky.
Jesus, using the referee as a weapon there.
That was the referee and not someone's small child.
And now this is a fan being used.
That's one way to pick up chicks. We still have some plunder left to be used in the ring.
Thumbtacks. Corona bucket full of thumbtacks.
Oh,
Bentley charges in. Otis moves. Boot up.
that's mildly less dangerous than falling into a puddle of Corona.
Bulldog into the thumbtacks by Bentley. Bentley eats some of those tacks in his ass, but Otis still took the brunt of it.
How
Gets
much
a
of that
2
cost him?
count.
He could have covered him.
Otis
We
has
could
a
be
couple
looking at a new
tacks in the
champion.
back of his head now.
And a pounce from Otis Cogar. Follow up with an elbow drop. Otis is looking to take us home, it looks like.
Getting the Sprite can door set up. Suplexes Bentley into it.
Brutal.
Only a 2 count still. Referee there trying to make sure it's safe for Bentley to get up. Pulling off some of those Sprite cans.
That jagged
Obey
aluminum.
your thirst. Look at those gashes on Bentley.
Oh, those are deep. Oh, those are
need
deep.
stitches. Otis rolls him over, gets 2. Bentley still kicks out. Otis looks like he's starting to get tired here now.
We need to take us home. For the sake of Reed Bentley, we need to go home. It needs medical attention.
Roaring elbow there from Bentley. Bentley grabs the chair. To your point, we've had thumbtacks, we've had barbed wire, we've had soda cans that have been cut in half for jagged edges, and we've got plastic chairs.
It's really the only thing that breaks the immersion, right?
Yeah.
And am I a dick for pointing it out? Sure, possible, but fuck,
Bentley
I
just
still wouldn't want to
thrown
go
off the
through it.
top.
Oh, fuck, that's still a metal frame on that door. Either way. Oh, that was brutal.
Reed in the chat saying, "Oh my God, Reed, let it end."
You know, the longer this goes, just the worse you're gonna feel tomorrow. Just let Otis pin you. Fuck.
Reed says plastic hurts more because there's less resistance. Headbutt from Bentley.
Looking for. Look. One,
Dropped Otis
two.
on the aluminum trash can there, but only got a 2 count.
You don't have hair to grab, Reed. Phantom hair?
Uranagi from
His arm
Otis.
gave out. Reed could not finish the chair throw.
Otis going to the top rope. Moonsault from Cogar.
Beautiful
Hooks the
moonsault.
leg. There's 2. And Bentley kicks out.
What more does Otis have to hit Bentley with?
Jesus, he just swung that chair and the top broke off.
Exploded.
2, 3, that's it. The winner of the match and still your Ultraviolent champion, Otis Cogar. No Napier interference. No Atticus interference. Vandal 48 stood on their own and won their matches with no interference from the other Vandals tonight.
I might just be nitpicking here, but I think the moonsault should have ended it. But respectfully, they beat the shit out of each other. And we're out of time.
Yes. Really quickly, before we say our farewells, want to shout out and thank the almost 190 of you that are tuned in this evening for independent wrestling. Thank you to all of you guys for joining us, for enjoying our presentation. Shout out to Reed in the chat room, again, part of the GCW podcast family, always in the chat room for the podcasts, which you can catch every Tuesday, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on the GCW YouTube channel. You can also find us. Subscribe to Rage of Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to and follow nfoster1916 on YouTube and the X. Subscribe to and follow J Hebertside95 on the YouTube and the X. Ryan.
Find me on X. That's all you can find me on. My boys, the Wrestle Collective. You can find us on X and YouTube. We do various shows and podcasts throughout the week between both platforms. Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, all varying between 5:30 and 6 p.m. So, thank you if you decide to follow us, and if you've been watching on the Wrestle Collective broadcast, we appreciate all of you, and if you've been following us on the SRS side, appreciate you.
Absolutely. You can find and follow me on the X and on YouTube. Subscribe to Casa D18 Studios with an S on YouTube, no S at the end on the X. Subscribe to Batty for Wrestling on YouTube for New Japan content. Subscribe to Rangers of Wrestling on YouTube, part Power Rangers, part professional wrestling. And then, of course, make sure you're following the Simply Reliable Studios at SR Studios 2024. Make sure you tune into our flagship show tomorrow, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, Saturday Shenanigans, as we welcome the Conduit of Karma, Kaya McKenna. And that is going to wrap things up for tonight. We will be back here tomorrow for another GCW watch-along in Columbus, Ohio, so alive. Until then, for the Wrestlefish Ryan, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, thanking y'all for tuning in, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night.